Since you last saw me, we've moved out of the house, so I'm in new offices and I now employ 2 members of staff. We moved into the new offices because just to separate that home and work space.
Morning. You got anything for me?
There's a lot of facilities here, such as the reception. They've got very good support for small businesses, so for us it just seemed like the perfect move. I have 2 Rachels working for me. So I have Rachel Dye, who works part-time, and Rachel Kent, who did a summer intern with us. She's now back at uni and she does kind of every so often. Rachel Dye is a stair study coordinator, so that means that she deals with kind of the admin and the office side of things. We do all her PAYE for her. She's just about to go onto a permanent contract. We chose to go with PAYE because there was a lot of benefits for her, but also for us. It just seemed simpler to have that loyalty from her and to get the contract in place as well, because for us we want to employ more people, so we didn't want to keep putting it off, because actually if we can start off now when it's really dead simple, then when it gets more complicated we should find it a lot easier. I think record keeping can sometimes be perceived as like this big thing. Often big companies have whole departments dedicated to their record keeping, and as a small business it can be quite daunting thinking I've got to do this all on my own. And actually I think once you realise it's not such a big task and you look at it and take advice, actually it's very simple. It doesn't have to be all flash and fancy. We have a lot of records, whether it's to do with employment, so obviously we have contracts, we have pay slips, we have national insurance numbers and things. We've got all the invoices that we send, we've got all the invoices that we receive, we've got all our expenses. With the expenses, we keep those in plastic wallets per month, and I usually deal with those every 3 months with the VAT return.
It's the only thing I can see to solve it with him.
Even though the business is doing really well, I'm still doing my gym stuff. I've got kind of a lot more speaking, I do a lot more work in schools, and obviously not having to be in the office full time frees up that time to do that. So this year I will be doing my first self-assessment. Having to start looking at my self-assessment for 09 to 010 has made me think that from 010 to kind of 11 I need to be a lot more organised. So I have a file where everything just goes in there, whether I think it's going to be relevant or not, because currently I'm trawling through bills and bank statements and visas. It's been a bit of a learning curve. I wouldn't say to start off with it's particularly easy. It gets more into a routine, I think. When I first started I wasn't as organised as this, and actually being at home and working from home often made it more complicated, whereas moving to the office means that all the bills go to one place, all the business stuff is here, and it can be all organised and it stays organised. There isn't other people moving it or anything like that. So a lot of this was actually learnt through mistakes, and yes, I might seem quite organised now, but it wasn't always like this. The benefits of having all our records as a business financially make sense, because obviously you've got to do a VAT return. The more I have my expenses organised, the easier it is for me. The less tax that I pay, the more organised you are, you actually save money. Actually, I find it really useful to keep a grasp on the business, to know where we're going, and also to look at where we've been. I think for anyone that doesn't want to learn through trial and error, probably the easiest way to do it is to go onto the Business Link website. They've got lots of templates out there, lots of different spreadsheets, because yes, I had a lot of good advice and some of it we've learnt along the way, but that's not always the best way to do it. If there's the information out there, which there is if you look on the website, then you might as well do it right from day one.